My name is Virgolt, or Frigarath the Giraffe-Raff. And I have a lot of Pokemon cards. I collect everything from base set to modern and damaged to mint. And this is my adventure in the Living Pokedex Project.
Alrighty, friends, welcome back to the channel and to episode, I think, 5 of the Living Dex Project. And today we have bees! I will do my best to limit the bee movie jokes and bee-related puns in this video. I cannot guarantee results. There's also a non-zero chance that I will just have the backing track of this video be Flight of the Bumblebee. Like, there's a non-zero chance of that, and I think I might try it in editing. If it doesn't happen, it's because I've decided that that was way too chaotic of a bit. We'll see. I am still 50-50 on that, so. But anyway, we have some bees today! Look at all these bees. And by that I mean specifically Beedrill, who's, like, technically a wasp, if we're being so honest. Like, I think Rubombi is an actual bee, and then Beedrill's a wasp. I mean, Beedrill's a wasp. Look at him. I'm also a little bit surprised they haven't. Have they done another bee Pokemon? No. And they should. Like, there deserves to be a cute bee Pokemon. Give us the cute bee Pokemon. Gen 10, cute bee. Alright, so for my completion percentages for these lovely stacks of cards, I have a pretty respectable 73% for Weedle, 72% for Kakuna, and wow, exactly 50% for Beedrill. That's pretty surprising, actually. And again, despite being a Gen 1 Pokemon, it feels really like Beedrill does not have a whole lot of cards. Like, he kind of gets lost in the shuffle of things. But anyway, I'm like looking at Beedrill's card list, and he has an excellent one from not Expedition. Oh, what is this? Discovery. Ooh, or him and the cactus. I like that one. But let us start with Weedle. Hopefully my cards are in order this time. We will see. But unfortunately, neither Weedle, Kakuna, nor Beedrill have made any SIR appearances, IR, SIR, or Immersive Rare appearances in TCG Pocket, so no proxies this week. But we do still have our binder entries. Weedle somehow is considered the hairy bug Pokemon. Where? He's bald. Like, where is this hair? Genuinely explain this to me. Like, we don't even have a copy of, like, because there's like the Diglett and Dugtrio that allegedly have hair in like one card, and then they don't. And I think it's like the base art of Diglett has hair, but like, nobody has ever drawn Weedle with hair. I don't think we've ever seen him textured in game with hair. Like, bruh, where? He is bald. That is, wow, alright. Like, sometimes you just read things out loud for Pokemon, and it's like, who decided this? Who wrote this out, and did nobody look at this work? That is so funny. But we begin the Weedle collection with 3 different printings of the original base set, 1 in Shadowless, 1 in base set 2, and 1 in Legendary collection. It's got very small eyes in this one, like smaller even than usual. I don't know, because like his eyes definitely get bigger as he goes along, but like, I don't know, I'm just like looking at this printing of Weedle and the other printings of Weedles, and it's the eyes specifically that are very small in proportion to the nose on this one in particular. All right, and then I do need to look this one up because I have it in Japanese and not in English. But this one is, oh, I do not remember the name in Japanese, but I know this would be the equivalent. It would be Koko's Weedle from Gym Challenge. I do have some Japanese cards in my collection. I don't particularly collect Japanese. However, I have picked some up along the way, and I've kind of really gone back and forth in my own collection of like, yeah, Japanese is fine. I only collect for the art, or no, I'd really rather collect in English because like it does, like visually it does bother me, at least when the Pokemon's name isn't all the same down the page, which is really specific. I fully realize this, but it's why I've gone back and forth of like, yes, Japanese is fine. No, I would rather have all English. And it's like, I'm currently at a stage where it's like, look, with the state of the hobby right now, it's just not economical to be fussed over language. You know, and it's like, if I have a card in Japanese, I'm not going to go out of my way to replace it for the English counterpart. It's just not worth it right now. Because I did have, like, I would say about a 6 months phase in 2025 where I picked up a lot of Japanese illustration rares, and then I was like, oh, I really rather have these in English, so I slowly like traded out the Japanese ones for the English ones. I didn't do all of them just because then, you know, prices kind of spiked for a lot of the ones that I had, and I was like, you know what, I'd rather have a copy than no copy. So, but yeah, so as it stands, you know, if there are Japanese copies of cards in my binders, they stay. Maybe one day we will get to a place where I feel like I can, you know, pretty affordably replace those, but until such a time, yeehaw. There are definitely some cards that I don't think I will ever be able to replace, because like I picked up a whole bunch, and you'll see those when we get to the evolutions in, or a long time, but a whole bunch of stuff from Terrestrial Festival that, just makes no sense to swap out to English. It's so expensive. Hey, maybe this video will age poorly and they will come super down in price and I will swap them out. What a great day that would be. But until such a time, we have them in Japanese. And then we have one of my favorite Weedles here from Discovery. Love him on the leaf here. And then, alas, jumping over the E-Series, which I hate to do, but so it goes. We have this Weedle here from, is this? Yes, EX Fire Red Leaf Green, which I really love the color pencil look of this one. It's very cute. And then there's a big old gap in my binders, unfortunately for Weedle here. I may keep an eye out for him to kind of fill out this Ruby Sapphire Platinum Heart Gold Soul Silver era, because my collection jumped straight to Plasma Freeze. Yes, this is Plasma Freeze. I really like this set. I think it, like, I do kind of wish they would bring, well, they kind of have a little bit for Perfect Order, because they did kind of bring back the whole story arc of, oh, Mega Floette, Angie is going nuts. So they do a little bit have, like, bring back, like, the concept of, like, there's a story in the set, but, I don't know, I just think, like, the entire Team Plasma arc was super cool just because of how coordinated that felt across a whole bunch of arts. And also, like, it's really cool to, like, look at a Pokemon looking at some frozen stuff and be like, oh, that was probably from Plasma Freeze. So I do like that in concept. And then we have this one here from the Kalos starter set, which is always interesting to me that it feels like, man, okay, this would have been some time ago now, but like, I could have sworn there was an X and Y base set. So then what was the X and Y, the Kalos starter set? And what, is that just what they called base? Maybe. But then, I don't know, that's a goofy name for it. Starter set. Just call it base and be done. No, because they did have, because like the next one, I'm now looking at my list, this is from X and Y, so they did have an X and Y. So then what was the starter? Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and look this up because this has been confusing me for a hot minute. What was the starter set? And like, Oh man, I don't know. Anyway, cute Weedle here. I like the way that the sun comes through the leaves. But like, what was the story? Okay. I put a pin in this because that's going to be a sidebar for later. And then we jump ever so slightly to this XY Primal Clash. How do I describe this one? There's a specific art style that I am thinking of. It's not Renaissance. It's not landscape. It's not portraiture. Maybe it'll come to me. But just like the background reminds me of a very specific art style. Like he's giving art museum, which is always so goofy and silly to me. Like they would definitely I'll bring this back so they have a visual while we talk about this. This would absolutely be a card that they would have in the Kalos art museum, which always, I love the concept of like very fancy background and then just Pokemon. All right, and then we have once again a reverse holo foil and regular of the same base set printing this time from XY Evolutions. If only they would do that for Skyridge. Eternally sad. And then we jump to the Sun and Moon era with Crimson Invasion. This time he's in the desert. Rare desert moment for Weedle. And then this super cute Weedle from Sun and Moon Team Up. Really super cute, this one. I love the way that the sun is and I almost said slack off. Is that right? Slack off Vigoroth stacking. Yes, okay, that is right. Because I was like, oh yes, slack off. No, sloth. No, that's what he actually is. And then the reverse holofoil and the regular for this Weedle also from Team Up. I really liked this holofoil pattern. Like they have had some absolutely fantastic holofoil patterns and then they have had some misses. I did not like the Sword and Shield holofoiling pattern. Boring. I also do not like the current one. I think that is lazy, and I do not like the unpatterned holofoil. I understand that they're trying to be like, oh, throwback to when we didn't do any of that. No, sorry, it's boring and looks dull on modern cards, especially because I know y'all have done better. Bring back the holofoiling pattern, or excuse me, the reverse holofoiling pattern from Shrouded Fable. Like that was genuinely their best work, and I'm so sad they used that for exactly one specialty set. Like they didn't even use it across all the specialty sets for the Scarlet Violet era, which I think is a shame, a sham, and a scam. Bring that back because that like the Pokeball hexagon holofoiling pattern, top tier, quite peak. And then we have a Yukimori Weedle from Champion's Path. He's ready to fight. He is beefing. He is ready to be a Beedrill. I've never seen a Weedle so incensed. And then we have another cute Weedle here from Vivid Voltage. He's made a number of appearances over the years. Good for him. Must be kind of an easy guy to draw, though. And then we have a Weedle from, I almost said Single Strike, that's not it, from Chilling Rain, with the Heracross down at the bottom. I think my favorite part about making these videos is that it really forces me to like look at my cards and notice the details about them, because I don't think I could have told you before today that there was a Heracross in the bottom of this card. I really don't think I could have. But also, it strikes me that he might be mid-evolution here as he's doing his sit-ups, because he's kind of got like the glowing orb look about him on his tail, or the end of his tail. His whole body? Unclear. Where does body begin and tail end? Who knows? And then we have his obligatory appearance in 151. Very cute, very fun. And then his most recent appearance in Chaos Rising, where he's looking at the tower and he's like, don't want any of that. No, thank you. And actually in its matching sleeve for once. Look at that. Wow. know, good sleeves, these. I know some people really dunk on the quality of the ETB sleeves. I like to use them just because it's like, look, a sleeve is a sleeve for my binders. Like, I am not, I am not made of money, and I can't exactly afford to be picky. If there's sleeves in an ETB, I will use the sleeves. It's fine. But I do like the sleeves from Chaos Rising. I think they're quite good. All right. And now for the Kakunas. We start with the binder entry, very aptly named the Cocoon Pokemon. First appeared in base. And once again, there is its Pokedex description from Heart Gold Soul Silver. And for Weedles, I should also state that I used the Heart Gold Soul Silver entry as well. All right, just one first appearance here of the base set art, which appeared in base set 2, but not in Legendary Collection. No, yep, wait, yes it did. I always forget that Legendary Collection is listed not in the first row with all of the original printings. So yes, it did appear in Legendary Collection, but I don't have any of those, so just the base set regular there. And then this super cool one from Gym Challenge. I think this is like one of the only arts we have where we have a Pokemon mid-evolution, which is super cool to me. I really like this art. And I kind of wish they would do this more often. But super, super cool to have some mid-stage, mid-evolution there. And then this Kakuna, ooh, this is a really good art. I love this style from Discovery. He looks real tough with like the black and the penciled in background. Really, really cool. Really love that. And then I do have the E-Series Kakuna. I think this is Expedition? No, this is Skyridge. The mountain is Skyridge. So have the Skyridge Kakuna where he's over the ravine. It's kind of glowing purple there too. Don't know why. Is Kakuna poison type? No, I don't think Kakuna is poison type. And I don't know if Beedrill is either. Potentially. Unclear. I don't know if Beedrill has ever gotten a poison type printing. Yeah, he is bug poison. Is Kakuna bug poison? Wait, are all three bug poison? They might be. Ooh. Yeah, Kakuna's bug poison. And then Weedle is also bug poison. Has Weedle ever gotten a poison type printing? No, I don't think he has. Wow. And neither is Kakuna. Hey, give us the purple. Give us the purple bees. But moving right along, we then have the Kakuna from EX Fire Red and Leaf Green, which is also super cool. Shout out to all the Kakuna that gathered together on the trees in ZA. You know, they also, like, surprisingly, Kakuna has never had a shiny card, and I feel like it would be very iconic of them to print a shiny Kakuna card for ZA, or for, like, a Mega Evolution block set, because I feel like it's such a common shiny that everybody finds. It's the shiny Rats, it's the shiny Trubbish, and it's the shiny Kakunas. Everybody's got a shiny Kakuna. Oh, and the, not Talonflame. Not Fletchling, or Fletchling. Those two. And then, really like this one as well. This Kakuna from EX Delta Species. Great addition to a fall binder page, if you are so inclined to make one. And then, unfortunately, like Weedle, I have a bit of a jump over the Platinum and the Heart Gold Soul Silver era straight into... oop, I actually have 2 copies of this card. Oh, this is fun! Oh, this is one of my Italian cards. Okay, so like I have a smattering of these. And I don't clock them because the name is the same until I actually read the description, and it is obviously not in English, it is in Italian, but that's fun. But yeah, I have the reverse holofoil and the regular, that's the word I'm looking for, of the Kakuna from Plasma Freeze. It's also got a little bit of ice around him. And jumping a little bit to XY Primal Clash, with whom I also have the reverse holofoil and the regular. Kind of got a lot of pollen around him. And then again, the reverse holofoil and the regular of the Kakuna from Evolutions. And then another one of my favorite Kakuna arts, this one here from Crimson Invasion. I really like the style of this Kakuna. Like, shockingly, Kakuna has a lot of really good arts. Would highly recommend collecting Kakunas. Because I don't think the set, like, none of these cards are terribly expensive at all. And there's, like, a lot of really good arts for Kakuna. And then we have, following up the Yukimori Weedle from Team Up, we also have the Kakuna from Team Up. And then this one from Champion's Path. I love the saturation of the sky in this one. Super, super pretty. And then we have the Kakuna from Vivid Voltage, who, if I'm looking at this correctly, Vivid Voltage would have been Sword and Shield. Is this Sword and Shield? Is he sitting in the National Park from Johto, or is he somewhere? No. Yes? Where is he? I feel like this lake is familiar to me, but it's not coming to mind. Because there's also the one, this is not going to be descriptive at all. There's the one lake in Unova in one of the early route cities. I don't remember. Hey, comment down below if you know where this Kakuna is, because I feel like he's either somewhere in Galar, in the National Park in Johto, or one of the starting places for Unova, and I don't remember. I might be like colliding all of those together into one location in my brain, but... And then we have this Kakuna here from Chilling Rain. I love the red with this one. Very cool. And then his obligatory appearance in 151. Shout out to the move. I love the way that the TCG names moves. Sometimes they're so deeply unserious, and it delights me every single time. Shout out to Would run a Beedrill deck purely for And then finally, we have the Kakuna from Chaos Rising. Again, fantastic skies with Kakuna cards. Like, if you want to do good Sunset Page, consider some of the Kakuna cards, because apparently they just make good Sunset cards. All right, and finally, the Beedrill pile. B-time. So, we start with his Binder Dex entry. He is the Poison Bee Pokemon. So that answers any of my questions of whether or not he's a poison type. Yes, he certainly is a poison type, to the point where he's called the Poison Bee Pokemon. First appeared in base, and there is its Dex entry from Heart Gold Soul Silver. So, I start with this Shadowless Beedrill here, Shadowless Unlimited from base set, which is pretty cool. And then I have quite the beginning gap in my Beedrill collection, because I jump all the way to this holofoil Beedrill from EX Fire Red Leaf Green, which looks fantastic, by the way. Ooh, you can see the swirl on there. But like, the Beedrill with the flowers and the other Beedrill looks absolutely fantastic. However, I'm fairly certain these Beedrills are not to scale, because if you will recall from the Binder Dex entries that we just looked at, Beedrill's like 3 foot 3 inches. And unless these flowers are comically large, I don't think this Beedrill's to scale, unfortunately. Horrifying to realize, really, that the wasps in your garden might be 3 foot 3 inches tall. Horrifying. All right, and then this super cool EX Delta species, Beedrill. Oh gosh, I love the gold of this and the gold in the name and the stamp and the way that it's just Beedrill that's holofoil instead of usually the inverse of the background being holofoil. Gosh, Delta species are so cool. Love collecting these with the hole-on tower in the background. Looks amazing. Love that. And then we have a nice fall leaves Beedrill here from Great Encounters. Really like the orange of the sky and the yellow of him. Great color palette. And then, gosh, this one I have had since forever. This Beedrill from Arceus. Really, like, absolute banger from the childhood series. And by that I mean from my childhood binders. And actually, pretty good shape too. I did a somewhat decent good job of taking care of my cards as a kid. Wasn't the best shape, but like, honestly, not bad. Not bad. And then this Beedrill in Japanese from Heart Gold Soul Silver, which I would love to pick up the matching sets of the Weedle and the Kakuna for this Beedrill because the art from Heart Gold Soul Silver is super, super pretty. Would love to, you know, collect all of those sets. I have a decent chunk of a bunch of them, but there's still some gaps that I am missing. Oh dear, I've not been flipping over my Beedrills. There we go. Okay, let's keep the stack in order, gang. And then jumping a bit to XY Primal Clash. I think one of my favorite things about the Weedle, Kakuna, and Beedrill cards is how often they're pictured with other friends. Like, I always enjoy that. And then we have a couple of different copies here of the Beedrill from XY Evolutions in the reverse holofoil and the regular, which I need to mark off on my list that I have the reverse holofoil of this guy. There we go. Yes, I do own that. And then a pretty classic Beedrill here from Crimson Invasion. And a reverse holofoil and a regular printing of the Beedrill from Team Up. Again, another good sunset card. A lot of emphasis on the stingers of Beedrill in this era, because here he is again in Champion's Path. He's been doing a lot of sharpening of his needles apparently in this era. And then a couple of different printings of the Vivid Voltage Beedrill in reverse holofoil and regular. And then another reverse holofoil Beedrill, this time from, I think, Chilling Rain? Yes, Chilling Rain. People really love to emphasize how pointy Beedrill is in this era. Like, I think every card we've just looked at for, like, the Sword and Shield era is just, he's pointy! Have you noticed he's got needles? He's got needles. He's a bee. He's got stingers. He's got needles. Wowee. And this is no different with this Beedrill V from Astral Radiance. I would really like, because I know also in Astral Radiance there's a fantastic Beedrill art from, I already said Astral Radiance, but unfortunately it's gotten pretty expensive, so I think we're gonna have to hold off on that one for a while, but would like to pick that one up at some point eventually. Alright, and then we have the 151 Beedrill, this time in the holofoil and the reverse holofoil. And wrapping up this video is the Beedrill full art from Chaos Rising. It's looking pretty good. Oh, that's why the deck is called Rumbling Bees. Okay, I have seen a few iterations of this particular deck, especially with Pitch Black coming out. That's why they call it Rumbling Bees. I was wondering where they got the name. Let's see, this attack does 110 damage for each of your Beedrill and Beedrill EX in play. Oh, okay, so this is just essentially you want bees. Bees? Bees. Interesting. I would love to see if this deck actually works, because I think that would be a funny deck to just bees. All right, but those have been the piles. If you enjoyed today's collection, feel free to like, subscribe. If you would like to, be notified when I post videos, I post every week on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and, whenever else as the spirit moves me. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put these back into my binders, and then I'll show y'all what those layouts look like.
All right, thank you everyone so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one.